Somebody come get their grandma. It's Chef Baby at 3:02, not 3:20. I don't know what my problem is. I don't know why I was thinking 4:20. Laughing at myself. I'm such a nerd. All right. That's it. This wonderful mock demi. Wonderful recipe from Chef Baby 3:02. So if you don't hear anything else in this video, remember Chef Baby 3:02 on TikTok. And forget all my senior moments. I'm not a big TikToker, but I do know my boy, and he is the Bob. So thanks for sharing. I hope you enjoy this video. How to make a really light, flavorful, melt in your mouth, clean demi. That's gonna be better than anything you're probably gonna buy unless you want to start boiling bones, which I don't mind, but, and I'm not one for hacks, but this is one worth doing, not because it's a quicker process, but because the flavor's so clean and it really has a melt in your mouth. You could almost eat it. It's just, I mean, not almost. I could like keep eating this, but I'm not going to because I want to use it. So there it is. Chef Baby 3:02. Okay, I'm starting to get going my mock demi from the talented Chef Danny. His TikTok handle is Chef Baby 3:02 at TikTok. And I'm pre-measuring the ingredients. The first thing that's gonna go in is gelatin. I'm using granulated gelatin, so it's 1 ounce. All right, let's see. I'm gonna see how many. It's weird, these don't have the, on these ones that come in the box, they don't say how much it is. So I'm thinking I already added 1. I'm on my 3rd envelope. So let's see how many more. I think it's gonna require, all right, let's see. I can't cut and pour. Cut and pour, cut and pour. Okay, Chef Baby is a talent to be reckoned with. He's half my age and a master of his craft. Okay, so, all right, so it's gonna take about 3 3/4 of 1 to reach 1 ounce of gelatin. And this is, I don't know if you should even attempt to do it in a dry measure, but I already zeroed out, and by that I mean I've taken my scale and I pre-measured the weight of my cup, so that is not included in the weight of my gelatin. This is a true 1 ounce serving. Let's get the rest of our mise en place together, which means everything we need for our recipe. So now that you've seen how I measured the gelatin on the scale, 1 ounce, this is the full recipe. So again, shout out to Chef Baby 3:02 on TikTok, a wonderful chef, a chef that knows more than, he's forgotten more than I'll know, I'm sure. All right, so his recipe is 4 teaspoons of tomato paste, 2 quarts of chicken stock, 2 quarts of beef stock. Let's see, 4 teaspoons of low sodium soy sauce. I'm using Kikkoman. 1 ounce of the gelatin. You saw me measuring that. And the reason I have it in a cup is because his recipe calls for us to bloom it. So I'm just gonna take that out. And what blooming means is to rehydrate the gelatin or rehydrate this in liquid. I'm gonna use either some of the chicken or beef stock, it doesn't matter. And then his final ingredient is 1 teaspoon of onion powder, or I'm using granulated onion. Now I have this little guy tucked over here because this is MSG. This is not part of the original recipe. It's simply an experimental step in it. So this is gonna be fun. All right, let's get on to the next step. Our first step after blooming, here, let me just get this going. I'm gonna bloom it in, I guess, beef stock since it's readily available. Okay, have a little spoon here. See how it kind of clumps? All of this is eventually gonna melt, so it won't matter. But this is just a preliminary safeguard, if you will. And it just keeps it from, you know, having any clumps unexpectedly once you add it to the liquid. Again, it's gonna get so hot and cook so long, even if that was the case, it'd probably melt anyways. But since Chef Baby always does everything right, and so do I'm gonna follow his method because his method always works. All right, so every once in a while, I'll give it a little spin. And then the next step is gonna be to get the tomato paste, cook that off, and then I'm gonna dump all of the stock, the soy sauce, the onion, and I'm gonna withhold the MSG until once it's reduced. So let's see how it goes. Will it be as brilliant as Chef Baby says it's gonna be? I definitely think it is. It always is. All right, step one, cook off a little bit of this tomato paste and just follow the recipe. Whatever he says, do. I don't want to overcook it, but I do want to get some of that rawness out. And my next step is just going to be to start adding the chicken stock. Hold on, it's all steamy. All right. First quart going in. I'm gonna continue in this way and I'll show you once all of the stalks are in there and I add the gelatin and the seasonings. We'll get back to that part. All right, I had to get my cameraman, my husband, to hold the camera for this one. So you see how this gelatin got all thick like this? I don't want to splash. Oh, look, some of it didn't rehydrate. See the bottom of that? That's okay. Like I said, it will eventually get there. And we want all of that. Every last bit. Okay, and then I just have two final ingredients to add, which is the soy sauce and the onion powder. I'm just gonna stir. I'm gonna take over the camera. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm gonna keep mixing and I'm mixing. So what is demi-glace? Anybody knows about classical French cooking? It is a brown stock. It's one of the literally just like a pillar in any French cooking or even modern cooking of all sorts, especially in the French tradition. And it's a mix of brown stock with a sauce called Espagnole. And Espagnole sauce is one of the mother sauces in French cooking. So you see, I'm not necessarily trying to work out the lump in here. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't stick or do anything weird at the bottom. So this is a brilliant, like, should we call it a hack? A brilliant recipe. All right. Chef Baby 302. That's pretty. All right, this is exciting. Thank you for giving me this recipe. I'm testing it for myself. He's already made it He sent me a picture of some lamb shanks that I still lick the phone over. All right, I'm gonna keep mixing this until I feel that the gelatin has like dissolved. I'm just gonna periodically mix, but should be okay. Just don't totally abandon it, but you're safe to walk away for a while and do what you have to do. Just checking it regularly to make sure that nothing is happening. I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit. I turned it down because I didn't want my phone to steam up. So right now I have it at, I had it at kind of a low. I'm gonna turn it on to high for now. And then once it comes to a boil, I'm gonna reduce it back to, let's say, a medium flame so that it has time to reduce. I didn't ask him what temperature he's cooking it at, if it was high the whole way, but I know this has to reduce. So this is 4 quarts and it has to reduce to 1 quart. So if each one of those boxes was a quart, just imagine 3 of them have to go away to be left with 1 thick, delicious paste. We'll talk about the uses afterwards. Right now, let's just get through this beauty. Look at that rich color already. This is so great. Can't wait to see what it's gonna produce. All right, checking out for now. I just confirmed with Chef Danny that this should simmer about an hour, maybe a little more. So it's come to a boil, as you see. You can skim that scum normally when you add that, or like that foam off, and I probably will just because I'm paranoid like that. But that's a lot of times, you know, what happens when you add the gelatin and then all of the beef stock and all that kind of a thing. All right, so I'm just gonna skim this and then I'm gonna turn it down, which I already have. Come on, you hater steam. It's trying to not let me get through this video. All right, that's it. I'll get back to you. I've set my timer for 1 hour. So when that timer goes off, I'm going to be stirring it about every, I don't know, 25 minutes or so, maybe less or more regularly depending, because I'm gonna be doing a little grilling outside, but we shall see. Smells great in my kitchen right now. My timer hasn't gone off yet, but I could tell by the delineation line. You see that, like the side of the pot, so that's reduced by about 1 quart. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm sure that Chef Baby has a better stove than I do, because you might as well be cooking on a match. I have one of those like white stoves that are just like a matchstick. So I'm gonna reset my timer for another 45 minutes and see where we're at. All right, look, you see how you could see the line? So it's only been a few more, you know, like 20 minutes since the last time, but now you can see it going quicker. The lines here, like that goes to show you that it's going down quickly now at this point. It's still at a simmer. Sorry, I'm fanning because it's so hot that it's steaming at my camera. All right, we're still going. We're at a nice gentle simmer. I've set my timer, so we'll see how it goes. So off camera, I just a few minutes ago, I measured what I was at. It's supposed to be 1 quart, and I was just a little bit over by about a cup. So I'm reducing it. I'm gonna call the final cooking time or reduction time on a regular home stove on this about 2 hours and approximately, maybe give or take 5 or 10 minutes, 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I will measure this, and the last thing I'm gonna show you is the delineation line. You can see where it reduced. So we're very close. You know, it's okay. It's not going to ruin the recipe if it's over by a 1/4 cup, or, you know, it's just approximately, because there's plenty of gelatin in here and it will do fine, I think. I mean, so it's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. And this is what I got. I got So it's a quart, so that's 8 cups in a quart. Yeah, 8 cups in a quart, and I have, let's see how much I have left over. Let's see, so I can't, it's hard to see on this. I'm gonna call this about a 1/4 cup, and I don't think that should make a difference whatsoever. It's a nominal amount. So I'm going to put this, I put it in this glass Pyrex type thing. It's not Pyrex brand, but I'm gonna leave this in here, and I'm going to let it cool to at least room temperature because it's super hot right now. I'm going to add that teaspoon of MSG at this point, and we'll see how it goes. If you don't want to add the MSG, don't. It's an optional ingredient, but to this volume, Chef Baby 320 said just do it to 1 cup and test it. And maybe, you know, is this me telling myself I should not do it to the whole amount? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull out 1 cup, and I'm going to reduce the quantity to, let's say 1/8 of a teaspoon of MSG, because Chef Danny is always right. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take out 1 cup just for, I'm gonna put it right in here. I'm gonna take out 1 cup of this Demi before it cools off, and I'm going to add 1/8 teaspoon of the MSG. And so, but I would think that if it works out and you wanted to add a flavor enhancer like that to a quart, a teaspoon would be perfectly appropriate. So here we go. Look at how hot that looks. It smells wonderful. I could already tell this is gonna be super gelatinous. Let me get it before it starts chilling to the point where I can't incorporate any other ingredients. Okay, here goes in a little bit of the MSG in the 1 cup experimental. You don't know how many times he's told me to not do something, and I've done it, and I'm calling him at midnight to say you were right. All right. You know what? There's like 2 people that just come to mind immediately, and that's not to say that I don't, you know, have lots of people in my life that I love and admire. But he's one of those people that I consider like my own son. I consider him a friend, a mentor, and family. He's like a son to me, and yet he, you know, continues to inspire and teach, and he's incredibly talented. So I respect when he tells me something. I'm a listener, not only because of some weird random personal reason, because I've lived through him and it's many years, you know. I think we're going on 20 years now of being, you know, friends and confidants and collaborators, and he's just always right. And he never sweats. But that's a story for another time. All right, so there it is. This is 1 cup of the mock Demi with MSG, 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then here is the remainder. So 1 quart minus a cup is what? I don't know. 2. What? So there's 2 pints and a quart. Anyway, do the math. I don't know what it is, but there it is. We'll be back. Once this cools at room temperature, I'm gonna stick it into the refrigerator, and then we'll see what it looks like. I imagine it's gonna be beautiful. It smells amazing. The color looks great. I can already, just by judging, like shaking it right now, I could feel the viscosity is really beautiful on it. No need for straining, which is brilliant. Look, you could see right through it. You could see my countertop right through it. So normally if you made a traditional Demi, that would go through. So we'll see how it goes. I imagine it's going to be wonderful. I'm going to be using the product this week, so we'll see. Stay tuned. All right, it's fridge time. So the reason I have them in such oversized containers is because I want them to cool, and I want to be able to cut them into like cubes. or scoop them out. And here's the 1 cup with the MSG. Look, looks different, right? So I don't know what happened there, but this is without MSG and this is with. This looks a little more homogenized in some way. I can't explain it. Science. All right, going into the fridge. It's been about 20 minutes since I took it out. It's still lukewarm, maybe a little bit hotter than lukewarm, but it's good enough. It's going into the fridge. Uncovered for now, and then once I feel like the temperature is good enough, I will cover them. Okay, it's reveal time. I got 2 little tasting spoons here. I have not looked at these, so I took a nap, had a wonderful day with my dad. Ooh, look at how shimmy these are. That is beautiful. Let me give it a whiff. Just very clean. Let's see the big one. Wow. Oops, this one is not as set, obviously. It takes a minute, so you see how much thinner this is. So I think that's just gonna have to set up. Because look, this is the same thing, so. This probably needs a few hours to totally set up. All right, let's give it a try though. First one. Beautiful. Look at how nice and clean it looks. So I just want to make something right now. Oh my God. Please try this. All right, let's try this one. You see how it's really set on the edges? This just needs a little bit more time to set up completely. Look, beautiful. Oh boy, I could just imagine how that's gonna go in the sauce. All right, let's try this one. Well, I think the one with the MSG has a little bit more pop. Just like goes, but this one has a meatier flavor. They are both wonderful. Make this. That one.